Hi everyone, for today's video I'm going to be reviewing We Hunt the Flame. So I've wanted to read this book for like a really long time now, and I really wanted the hardcover versions of them because it's obviously like it's a different cover of them, and I just think those covers were so much nicer than these ones. I do still like this one. This is just a library book. I couldn't find the hardcover versions like anywhere really, even on Amazon I couldn't really find them. So I decided I'd just borrow it from the library, see if it was any good, and then I think I probably will end up buying both books now because there's a sequel to it, and I think I probably will end up buying both those just because I did really enjoy this one and I do understand why people like it so much. So I'm going to be splitting this video up into two sections. So the first half will be like a non-spoiler review, like if I'd recommend it and everything, and then the second half will be a spoiler, like we'll be talking about some of the spoilers in the book. I'll have timestamps in the description so that you can just click past those and go straight to the outro if you don't want to see any spoilers. So first of all, this book, I did have quite high expectations of it just because I've seen so many people say how good it is, and I think honestly I did really enjoy it. I do think it's really good, but I do think the second one will be better, just because at first I thought it was for like the first like half of the book the main characters haven't even met, so it was kind of like there's a lot of world building at that point, and so it was kind of quite like in a way like a bit boring to read. It was like quite difficult to get through, but once the characters like do meet and once you've got through all of that, it does get so much better. So yeah, I do think the second one is going to be a lot better just because all that stuff, all the like world building stuff's already been done, and it's like now the actual storyline can happen. And so yeah, I do think the second one is going to be a lot better, and I am probably going to buy it at some point. I'm currently reading the Cruel Prince trilogy at the moment, but maybe once I've got through that then I might buy the other two of these books. I also want to buy the Accursed Dark and Merlin series as well because I really enjoyed the first one of those. So I have got a lot of other things I want to read at the moment, but reading the sequel of this is definitely one of the things that I do want to read. So this is going to be the non-spoiler section of the review. So by the way, I might like mispronounce names in this, like I have tried to, because obviously there's the glossary at the back that tells you how to pronounce them off, so I'll try my best, but if I do mess any of them up, then like, just know that I am trying. But first of all, the cover, I did really want the other covers. I do think they are nicer than these ones. I do still think that these are really pretty, and obviously you can't tell because of the plastic library cover, but like all the metal bits are like shiny and the rest of it is just like a matte background. I just really like any kind of cover that's like that, and I really like all like the gold detail and everything, and I do think the cover is really nice. As for the plot of the book, like I said at the beginning of the video, it does take a while for actually a lot of things to happen. Like the first couple 100 pages is just like explaining the story and like building it up and stuff. So I'd say like they got more like world building than I'd like some of the action to have been more spread out. Like I feel like so much happens more towards the end, whereas at the beginning it's all kind of just building it up, and so I'd prefer if it was more like spread out, because I think then that would have kept me more hooked on reading the book, because I feel like there were a lot of time where I was just like putting it down loads, but once I got towards the end then I couldn't put it down, so I wish it had been like that throughout the book. But it was still really good, and I did really enjoy it once it started getting a lot better. So yeah, I definitely recommend like this if you have seen a lot of people saying that it is good, and I think it does deserve the hype that it gets. Maybe not as much of the hype that it gets like everyone. I got the impression that it was doing like the perfect kind of book, and I feel like it's not quite that for me, but I feel like it does deserve hype and it does deserve attention because it is really good. So in terms of my favourite characters, I really liked both the main characters, like Saphira and Nasir. I think they're really good characters. I like the stories from both their point of views, although I do think it's interesting. I haven't read the second book, but if that's got like other people's point of views, I think that would be really interesting to read about. You see it from other people's perspectives, but I think for now, just having those two is still really good, and even if that does continue, I think having like those equal point of views is really good, because I like books with multiple point of views because you can see what like all the characters are thinking, And so yeah, I really enjoyed that about this book. I think yeah, those two are really good characters. I really like that Saphira's like really, like she's a strong woman and everything. I really like that about her, and I like the fact that every book got tragic backstories. Any kind of book with those kind of things in, I really love those as well. I liked Altair, he was a really good character as well. I think he's probably like my favourite side character. I really liked his and Nessie's relationship. I think they had a really good relationship throughout the book. I think most people have recommended this as like a romance book, and I think obviously it takes a while for them to even meet, let alone even consider like having feelings for each other, but once they do, it does get so good. Like it is kind of everything you'd want from it, and so I definitely recommend it if that's what you're looking for. Like I do think Saphira and Nessie have like a really good relationship. So you know, I'm sure more of it will happen in the next book, but I really love what they've done with what the author done with it at the moment. The fact that it's like kind of just happens all at once, like there's no like slow burn where it's like frustrating and like waiting for it, kind of just all happens suddenly. So yeah, I really enjoyed the romance in this book. So if you're looking for a kind of book that, if you're looking for that side of the book, then I definitely recommend it. Okay, so this is going to be the spoiler section of the video, so if you want, just look in the description, you can just skip ahead past it if you don't want to get spoiled. So I just felt like towards the end of this book there were so many different plot twists, like throughout who was like related to who and everything. I just felt like once it got to that bit, it got so good. Like all the different plot twists were like so unexpected, they were just happening like so quick, and so I really enjoyed once it started getting to that bit, and especially at the end, like that plot twist at the end. I'm so like, I really want to read what happens in the next one. Like that ending has made me want to read the next book, and so I think that was a really good way to end it. Like the cliffhanger, you know, I'm just so excited for the next part of it. But yeah, also one of my favourite parts of the book was when Saphira and Nessie kissed for the first time. Even though Nessie said it like didn't mean anything or whatever, it obviously did. Like that was so obvious throughout the book that I think he was the one who was really falling for her first. And obviously it took him a while to both admit it, but I think he was definitely the one who fell first. And so their kiss was like, I knew from the beginning that they were going to be the couple that gets together, but their kiss, like when it happened, it was just like, it was so nice for it to have finally happened, and I really enjoyed when that happened, and I can't wait to watch their relationship develop like more in the next book. Like I'm so excited for where the romance is going to go and when they actually admit that they do like each other, and that it's not just like it like does mean something, they do actually like each other. I'm so excited for that bit, and I'm so excited because I don't think there will be any more like major plot twists in the next book, although there probably will be if it's anything like the first one. But I'm really excited for that one. I do think it is going to be really good. Just like generally as like overall, I think it was kind of a bit boring to read. Like I really struggled to read like the first few hundred, the first couple hundred pages, just because there was so much world building. But once it gets to all the good action and everything, it gets so good. And so yeah, I did really start to enjoy it towards the end, but it was only towards the end, so I'm assuming the next book will be a lot better, because I'm assuming it's all similar to like the end where there's just like so much happening in the plot and less happening, just like stuff building up. I think another major plot point was Benjamin's death. To be honest, I wasn't really that bothered by his death. Like I don't feel like it really affected me that much. Obviously it was sad to watch how it affected the other characters, but I didn't really actually care for his character particularly much, because I feel like, I don't know, not a lot really happened with him or anything before he died, so I don't really feel like his death was particularly significant. I feel like it was just like an excuse for someone to die. But yeah, I don't really feel like his death meant a lot to me, so I think that my two major criticisms of the book are the fact that there's so much world building in like the first 200 pages. Obviously I think it was kind of necessary for the book, but yeah, that and Benjamin's death being kind of like pointless, I'd say my two main criticisms of the book. I hope you enjoyed that video. Comment below if there are any other books you'd like me to read. Obviously I'm reading the Cruel Prince series at the moment. I've also thought about buying Serpent and Dove, that series I really want to read. Daughter of Smoke and Burn is on my TBR, so if you'd like me to read and review that, then I'll do that as well. But yeah, like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.